All right, we're getting close to that time. Yeah. You know what? That's okay. All right, all right, all right. Let's make this happen. And welcome. Good morning, everyone. This is the On Point Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Joe Blake here. And I want to welcome you this morning to a wonderful day in the USA. And it's nice and warm here in hot Arizona. Got a great show for you today. We're going to be talking about creating your own luck, creating your own opportunity. I have real quick, I got two guests here real quick. Just want to say hi. My grandpa, I love, being grandpa, man. It's this wonderful thing to have grandpa. Two of my grandkids just happened to pop in today. Want to say hi real quick. So I got my pudding pie and I got my philosopher. I want them to go over and say hi real quick. Come on over here. There's my pudding pie here. Just say hi. Hi there. Say hi to pudding pie. And then there's my philosopher here. You got to, so they can see here. Say hi there. Yeah, hi there. And want to say hi to you and everything. They're here visiting with me this weekend. They helped me cook in the backyard there and make some breakfast service, dinner and breakfast. So I like being grandpa, and creating your own luck was being able to do that and have a wonderful afternoon today. So, but that's part of my weekend there. So with that, I want to bring my son here, Joe Blake III, and you there, son?
Hello, how's everybody doing?
All right. You see, your niece and nephew there, man. They had the truck. They don't like being out in the open.
Oh, I see. Glad to see they doing well.
Yeah. Today we're going to expand a little more on our efforts here of educating the American consumer. There's my autograph, baby. Look at that. What's that? That's Joe Blake IV. Hey, how you doing there, grandson? What you doing with your daddy, man? You helping your daddy out?
He being greedy. You trying to get something to eat.
You're gonna eat.
Go.
That's what it's all about. Talk about creating luck and creating that opportunity that you have. I have grandkids from all different backgrounds. It's just like wonderful to be able to do that. creating your own love, creating your own wealth is creating an opportunity to be able to share your knowledge, wisdom with your whole entire family, and be able to share that information. So today, um, that's our mantra: is creating your own love. And I'm proud to be able to share this with this opportunity, this knowledge with you. And I got my oldest boy. Thank you, son, for being here with your daddy. Appreciate that.
Oh, my pleasure. No problem.
All right. So creating your opportunities there, creating your own luck. So what is luck? Luck really is when preparation meets opportunity. So you're preparing yourself all throughout your life to do things. And when you're prepared, an opportunity shows itself, you're ready for it. So we're talking about the three things. Well, we're talking more about the three things, but it's when you're prepared, you have your understanding, and especially when it's tough times like now, the struggles that go about. So you're understanding the struggle, you're transforming struggles into opportunities, and your strategies for embracing struggle. Because like now, there's a lot of tough stuff that's happening. And you got to know how to take those tough stuff and make it into good stuff to help you grow. So let's start. All right. So understanding struggle and what struggle can do for you, and how it can make you stronger on the outset. So struggle refers to challenges, difficulties that we face in life, and they demand perseverance. So it demands you to stiffen up. Now, when I say stiffen up, I don't mean you can't do nothing, but it demands that you become strong, demands you to go through it, and it demands that you overcome. Because if you don't, remain strong and overcome a determination, it'll run you over, right? It demands that you get the strength, muscle up. You got to go to the gym, so to speak, in life, and get that personal strength to go through and develop that resilience to get through it. So see that guy, he's pushing up that rock. If that rock is going down, you try to get that rock to go uphill. You got to get some muscle. Am I right, son?
You're right.
Because if you don't, what happens to that rock?
Gonna fall back on you.
So that means you have to have some personal growth. How do you get your personal growth? Sound like you're muted.
What was the question?
Your personal growth. What do you do for your personal growth?
I mean, a little bit of everything, to be honest. I mean, I'm constantly studying, working harder, trying to sharpen my skill set, my knowledge base, working in information technology. I mean, it helps to, just be aware of emerging technologies and how to implement them in a networking environment. Outside of that, working out, eating healthy, things of that nature. Always working
on you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Always working on you. Read, do some writing. I know every morning I wake up, I read the word. Now I read the word, and I also have the word read to me, because there's so many apps out there. Kindle app. There's another app that I use called it's on the Bible. You Bible app, because I'm reading and making sure that I know what the word is being read to me. Because if I don't, the word just keeps me strong. It keeps me accurate. You got to have some personal endeavors that you embark on to keep you going straight, right? Keeps you on the right angle. Now, common types of struggles that we have out there. Struggles that come along in various types. Emotional struggles that we have, financial struggles that we have, health. Oh my God, health, man. Every 10 years, once I turned 30, every 10 years, a new struggle that came up. My goodness, man. I didn't realize it was, but you got to realize that you don't think about it, but man, every 10 years, something happens in your body changes. It's like, what is the Transformers? Body change, man. You got to realize you got to stay active. Because if your body, if you don't stay active, your body be like, and it'll stop on you, man. You gotta keep working out and things like. But those demands, unique, some coping skills you got to deal with. This year, what I did was, my cupcake, the baby girl. So she got married, right? My baby. You know who Cupcake is, right?
Yeah, my sister.
So my baby's getting married. So I was like, you know what? I might have to do a crazy dance or something like that. So I started going to the gym because I wanted to make sure I was in order. And I was like, make sure, I only had, January. She got married in March. So I was like, I had 3 months. But I was going to the gym for that. Didn't have to do a crazy dance. So her stepdad, he did the crazy dance. I wasn't doing it, but that was good. They did that, I included him in the marriage, in the wedding too. But I'm still going to the gym. I'm still exercising because I wanted to make sure my body was still, and I'm still doing it. So bro, I got that. I still got that. Look at that. That right there is, and I'm almost 60. You see the thing right there? That is. You got one of those, son?
I got a little soul.
So your emotion, your health issue, your relation, and those like that, you still work on those struggles. You don't let them go. You still work on those. You work on those things, and that's where your learning and adaptation comes in because you're still working on it. You don't let it go. You don't let your body go. You don't let your health go because you keep working on it. Because if you let your body go and your health go, that's when issues come up in your life. And your mind, you got to keep working on your mind too, because if you let your mind go, that becomes an issue as well. You got to keep working on you, because if you don't work on you, that's what this destroys yourself. So we're still talking about creating your own luck. So that's preparation that goes into place. All right. So history involves societies that face struggles such as wars, economic challenges, social issues, and I know in the African American communities, that's been a big issue. With societies, we've been African American communities have just been ravished for a lot of different things. But we know that as we face those struggles head on, we don't let those struggles take advantage of us. We control ourselves and what may happen. And I look back at where I came from. You didn't live the life that your daddy lived. You weren't on welfare. You didn't face those things. You go to the store and anybody, give me money.
No, I didn't have those issues.
That didn't happen to you. So those struggles shaped our cultures, but it contributed to our progress because I faced it. You didn't have to. I went through things that you didn't have to because I made sure that I gave you, I pushed enough wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of yourself that you got past those things. And you started off sounding great. Man, you did those things that I mentioned, build your life before you had a wife, because that's what I've instilled, I wanted to make sure you have. So the historical struggles that we face in our past are not there. Our great-grandfather was in World War I. Our great-grandfather, James Blake, was in World War I. So, he did, back in World War I, how did they treat military guys?
Like crap.
But now it's better. Not saying it's like altogether, outstanding, but it's better. But the historical context is a little bit is better than what it was. So that's you create your luck by doing better as an individual. It makes it better as a whole. So you want to make sure that you're always working, because we're always working on ourselves, always working on who we are. And our great grandpa, if our great grandpa saw us now, you and I both working. I have a PhD, you working on yours. What do you think our great grandpa would think?
He'd be impressed. He'd be proud.
Our great grandpa would think that, and the fact that we know that he was in World War I and he served out his country, our country. He would say, "Man, great grandpa, right? Great grandpa."
Yeah.
All right, keep rolling. So now we're talking about personal experiences and struggle. Many successful individuals say personal struggles and defining moments in our life. Now, last class we talked about those defining moments. I talked about how I had plastic tennis shoes, and that was a defining moment in my life. Can you think of anything that you feel is? We may have many experiences with defining moments in life. Who do you know, or if, either yourself or someone you can think of that gave you an example of a defining moment they may have had in their life, and you looked at that and said, "Wow, that's interesting," or may have used that defining moment in someone else's life to help you.
Well, when we talk about creating your own luck, which is the topic of today's podcast, I think about so I draw back a little bit on my military experience. But I deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan, and when I went to Iraq and Afghanistan, I was attached to Special Forces unit, so I was kind of got in touch with that Special Forces community and
Mm-hmm.
culture. And
Mm-hmm.
so I've always been inspired with what they do on the front lines. And so one of my inspirations is David Goggins, and David Goggins talks a lot about how he went through like Hell Week for Navy SEALs training,
Okay.
and within that he had to create moments of like of joy or happiness, like a small victory that
Okay.
gave him like a psychological kick to to persevere through that. So that's something that I kind of relate to.
Okay. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Mhm.
And I think that our military experience is a good example of how personal experiences help us. And because we have that military camaraderie, sometimes when we meet other military guys, no matter what branch we've been in, we have that. No matter where we are, man, we meet each other. It's like an instant thing that we have with one another. No matter
Mhm.
where we're. I was at church last week, a couple of weeks ago, and I ran into three Army guys, and it was like we just boom, we clicked. No matter what brand. Now we tease, they tease me, we tease each other. It's like, are you in the Air Force? And they go, Chair Force. Like, man, whatever.
Mhm.
But when they found out I was a firefighter, it was like, whoa, because nobody wants to run into, I'm running into a building everybody else is running out of, but they were like, wow, and it was so funny. All three of us are African American, all prior military. It was funny that we all had the same type of dress. All three of us had bracelets on our arm, all three,
Mm.
which is same type. I had a beaded one on before. All spoke the same language, man. It was instantaneous. We were all together, instantaneous together, because we all had the personal experience, the personal struggle of getting in the military and then coming out. So
Mm.
sometimes that camaraderie is just like, it's a blessing, man. It's like some people, a lot of folks don't realize how it is, because we all went through basic training, we all came out, and we came out of it, and we still living our lives. So those things, those lessons still stick with us, still stick with us. And I'm proud of you, son, because your dad, even though I was in during wartime, you actually went
Mhm.
there, and I'm proud of you, son. You went there like my dad, because your grandpa, my dad went
Yeah.
to Vietnam,
Mhm.
and my dad came back. I'm glad my daddy
Yeah.
came back.
That's a blessing.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on. Psychological impacts of struggle. So struggle can lead to a range of psychological outcomes. It can do stress and anxiety. Emotional resilience comes from that. You can have self-reflection and have a deeper understanding of yourself. So going through those stressful situations, you have the deeper understanding of yourself. It helps you become stronger. Now, our military experience does that. I tell you, growing up in Baltimore was another experience, man. My God. And Baltimore ain't no joke.
Mhm.
That's another. If you go through those stressful environments, stressful
Uh-huh.
situations, it gives you another look at how life is, and how precious life can be. And going through those struggles help you redefine who you are, who you be, and what you can do in life. And you have to be mindful of that. And when you're prepared like that, when opportunity comes along to do better, you do better. Am I right?
Right.
Helps you do better. Now, uh, as we move on to the next, we're talking about transforming struggle into opportunity. Now, the concept of luck itself involves that opportunities arise from difficult situations, but you have to proactively seek out solutions and take advantage of those any adverse situations when when advantages arise. So you got to be able to seek out solutions when advantages arise. So how do you seek out those opportunities? How do you think you seek out them? You got to show you.
Um,
Go ahead.
yeah, I talk a lot about my real estate because that's what I'm actively working on. So,
Mhm.
I've at one point I got into real estate. If anyone's familiar with wholesaling, I would try to find distressed properties and negotiate a good deal on it, and then sell it for higher value. So that's kind of my bread and butter, so to speak, on a part time basis. And so there's I guess there's where other people might see a problem, I see an opportunity. So I like, especially when it comes to distressed properties. So that's my mindset with that.
That's a good one. When other people may see a problem, you see an opportunity.
Mm,
That's good. That's a good way to
mm,
see it. Because a lot of people, when a lot of folks, not a lot, some people, when they see a problem, what do? They run.
right.
Oh, they don't want. Oh, I don't want to deal with that. Oh, that's a problem. Something wrong. They want to run from it. But when you see a problem, you say, "Hold on, that's an opportunity for me. Hold on,
Hmm.
that's a chance to flip something around, do something good with it." Right.
Right.
Yeah, but the average person says, "No, man, no, that's not an opportunity for me. It's not a run, but that's
Hmm.
an opportunity for you." And when you see that opportunity, how does that make you feel?
I get excited a little bit. I get
Yeah,
excited. Yeah.
get excited. That's a good thing, son.
Mhm.
That is a good thing, man. Because
Yeah.
that's like me dealing with a difficult client. I have a client that no, I don't want to do that. I don't, it's, because a no just doesn't mean no right. It doesn't mean no right now. It's just a request for more information because they don't
Hmm.
know what they're really saying no to. All right. Identify opportunities within adversity. So adversity often presents hidden opportunities, like you were saying, that requires identification. So you can uncover paths to innovation, creativity, and personal development. So sometimes when you face that adversity, it just means you need to uncover some things. Something could be something that critical challenge means you need to uncover some innovation. You need to uncover some creative opportunities. You need to uncover something that needs to be personally developed in that individual or that situation. You got to uncover what's needed. You have to uncover what's hidden. You need to uncover what's hiding in the background. You need to uncover what's not being said. You just have to uncover it. And if you're willing to, you can uncover it. But if you run from it, you never find out what you need to find out. And what happens if you don't find out what you need to find out? You
um, I don't know. I'll let you fill in the gap there.
you miss it. You miss
Yeah, you missed.
opportunity. You miss out on the main thing. You miss out on that because you're going too fast. So you say, oh, they don't want it. No, it's not that they don't want it. You don't want to find out.
Mhm.
And when you don't want to find out, then you're out there, and then you miss the whole thing. Now, with, for this part of the lesson, we're kind of complete. So part two, we're going to start out with some real life examples of success from struggle. Because there's some folks out there that got some success through those struggles, and then next week we're going to finish it up on that part right there. Some real life examples of success through struggle. But realize that you have to go through it to get to it, and when you go through it to get to it, that's where the goal is. That's where the success is. That's where the I mean, because there's a saying that says You got to get through the test. You got to go through the test to get the testimony. You got to pass the test to get the money. That's why they call it testimony. Testimony. You got to pass that test. You had to pass it. Am I right, son?
You're right.
You got to pass it. All right. So I'm put you in the background, son, so I can finish some more things, and I'll come back. Okay.
Okay.
All right, son. Hang tight. All right, so we're finishing up for today. Just want to remind everyone you can take a QR code there and download the second version of the second part of the book, trilogy book there, Financial Legacy. Remember, the first book is Financial Literacy. Literacy lasts a lifetime. Second trilogy of the book is Financial Legacy. Legacy lasts for a lifetime. And then remember, the third book is going to come for another about a year from now. That's going to be a third legacy, the third book of the trilogy. So it's Financial Literacy, Financial Legacy, and this is Legacy here. And the book to God gave me is the three books that you want to download that. Also remind everyone that you please like and subscribe to the channel to get the word out about what we're doing. Our mantra is being to help families become more financially literate, so you can become a more successful family and get more finances in your legacy and your family. And that's what we're doing. And my family, as you can see, we're very diverse, all bunch of ethnicities. We're loving, kind family, and I just like completing what God has called me to do, is share more knowledge and wisdom with everyone that's out there. So with that, hey, this is Dr. Joe Blake and my son, Dr. Joe Blake in the making, and we're always here to help you get your financial point across. And always remember to stay tuned, stay informed, and stay on point. Have a great and mighty day. We'll see you again next week.